this is B from Sorcery Soap, and today we're going to do some soap stenciling. So this is the stencil, one of the stencils I'm going to use. I just washed it because I had some soap on it. A couple things about this. The one that is very difficult to use, and I'll show you, is this one right here. It has little lines right here. It's usable, it's possible, but it's really tricky. You can see I have soap and I just washed it because it escaped my notice that it had soap on it. And I got this from Hobby Lobby for $1.99. I just wanted to see if it would work, so that's what I did. Now, I haven't worked out all the particulars about how to do this exactly, but I will show you what I've learned. So that's my job, is to show you what I've learned when I bring something to the surface. Oh, I just wondered if I could do it. So I've got quite a few stencils in here. Some of these I cut apart because they're easier to use. That's too big for a soap bar. Well, my soap bars, not some people's. And some of these are pretty cool. This one's a duplicate, but you can see that these little lines right here. So when you mash it on, it's gonna be difficult. And I obviously have used this for other things than soap. So there's those. We've got some of these. My favorite ones are these. So we're going to use the dragonflies and the butterflies today. I've got some other looking dragonflies here. So I've got these dragonflies, and I've got these here too. So, okie doke, let's get started. Okay, so I just put this on here, and then I just put some water on top of it, just to smooth it out, and I'll show you how I did it. So if you ask, you might ask, if you ask me why I would put a stencil on top of a white bar of soap, oh, it's just to make it look more enjoyable. Why would I make anything out of soap dough? Okay, so there's that. So now let me show you how I did it. First of all, you have to start with having a whole batch of soap dough that soap bars that you thought was going to be soap dough fail on you. And then let them cure for months and months. Forget about them. I was just checking to see if there's any dust on them. Forget about them, and then you have something to stencil with. So this is what I do. I make like a little tube of this, like that. And I hold this down, and then I just push it in like that. So soap dough has a little bit of water in it, and it's pliable, so it's going to stick to the bar of soap. But you have to treat it a little delicately, a little gently in the beginning. So it isn't like frosting. It works a little different. And if you don't hold this stencil, this template down, what's going to happen is you'll push it, you'll mash it underneath the template. So you just want to do that. Okay, let's put that aside. I have a palette knife, which I've learned helps a lot. When I first started this, I had one of those scrapers from cake stuff. It does not work for me. It doesn't work for me. It might work for you. Maybe you're a little bit more clever or nimble than I am. I find myself pretty nimble, and see, because it's just little stuff that I want to be able to get in here. I don't want a big scraper like frosting, I guess. That would be great for frosting if you're putting it on a cake. But this isn't a cake. This is a little bar of soap. So anything you can scrape, you might have some tools that you use to scrape your molds. So all I'm trying to do with this right here is smooth off the parts that are going to be exposed. And yes, you're going to get a little bit on the bar. It's okay. Fix it. And then just take it off very gently. There. Voila. That came out pretty nice, particularly for being on camera. And you might have to clean it up a bit. So I have these handy dandy little sugar tools, right? My sugar shapers from Innovative Sugar Works. No, it's not a plug for them specifically because they sponsor me. They don't sponsor me, although they're very cool people, and I support them when I can because I really like their sugar shapers. So I'm just going to try and clean this up just a bit. So, because you know, part of the magic is making it look so perfect. And all this does is like, it seals it in there. So I'm putting water in there, and then I'm going to break the, and I don't know if you can see that. You can see how it's going to leak a bit like that. So I just wipe it up. Not a big deal. Because the black's really saturated, and so it's black oxide, so it's going to come off a little bit. But no big deal. Just let it dry. And I don't know if you can tell, if you just put water on and then you put alcohol on, you can see how alcohol floats. So alcohol does not stick soap. I can't stress that enough. It doesn't stick soap. You might get lucky once in a while and it works, but the truth of the matter is water sticks soap, not alcohol. Alcohol has been promoted for a lot of different reasons to be for use on soaps, for, you know, supposedly keeping ash away and things like that. And it just creates a layer. So if you're creating layers with this alcohol, then, see, I want to get rid of that. It's not going to stick. You don't want you want the soap to, and I learned the hard way, so try it yourself. if you don't think it works. If you don't think what I'm telling you is true, you can always just try it yourself and then see how it works for you. And if you can get soap to stick with alcohol and you don't like using water, which is a heck of a lot cheaper, then there you go. Then it works for you. I'm just telling you. I try to, you know, do the easiest way forward possible. So not overcomplicate things, but so I don't want to, I'll leave it and then I'll give it a little spray once it dries a bit. But I kind of like how it's sort of transparent right by the wings. Okay, let's do another one. I'll do dragonfly this time. I'm just using black because it's easier to see. And plus I like the idea of the black and the white. Once again, see, it turned out great soap. Unscented, by the way. It smells okay. It smells neutral. And then do a little dragonfly. Let's do these. What, I could fit 2 of them on here? Oh, maybe. Let's see. I'll put room. I'll try to make room for them. Okay. So if I want to fit 2, I should probably put this one up first and then, okay, let's try that. I don't know if I can stencil over top of another already stencil without them perfectly curing, so I'm going to give it a try. We'll give it a try. Let's put these out of the way so you can see. Okay. And I'm just trying to smooth off what's going to be left on top of the stencil. And if you just did it like I did, you're going to run into trouble. So try to, there. There. And I really want it to just be thick. So let's see if I can, if this will come off. Oh yeah, that looks great. Now I made them thicker so you can see on the edge, if you can see, it stands out a bit. So I want to try, there. Sometimes they lift off. I want to try this. I don't know if I could do this, but I give it a try. I give it a little go. Oops. Then I'll paint them. Okay. That's going to be close right there, isn't it? It's going to be close to the other dragonfly. But this sort of opens up a whole new idea. I know a lot of people say they don't have time or they don't want to embed things or whatever, make embellishments. I understand. I make some pretty complicated stuff that you go, why would she spend so much time making that and it's just going to disappear? Well, I don't know. Life spends a lot of time cultivating me and I'm just going to disappear. So I don't know that's a gauge for why you should make something, but I understand you don't want to sit and make it. Let's see if this works out. So maybe this is a way that you can get, hey, voila, that turned out. I understand maybe this is a way you can make your soaps stand out and look different, and then it opens your mind up to a whole bunch of things because there's tons and tons of stencils. So you don't have to do the molds or buy all the molds, and stencils are really inexpensive. Like that one was only $2. So that to me is worth it, you know, worth pursuing. So let's put a little water on these. I should put less, huh? Because I want to make sure they stick, but I don't actually have to put water on these. I just want to make sure that they stick. So, and then give it a little spray, done. And then we'll leave it at that. Okay, I hope this helped, and I hope that you're having a fantastic day in light of the world's insanity, because we're not going to talk about that. So maybe I'll see you on the other side. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, so I wanted to do a little bonus too. I happen to have some of these that are dry. These are super practice, like they won't leave my house, just so you know, so I'm really practicing. But I wanted to point out that you can mix colors into the stencil as you're doing it, and all I did was mix a little bit of orange and purple and just smear it at one point. But you can stencil over top a stencil. So I'm going to take a little bit of green. I thought this was an appropriate green. I think this is Green Vibrance. And my plastic is breaking down, so this soap dough is about done. Right here means it's about done. So, okay. Same thing. We're going to do this, but I thought I'd put a little grass on top of here and see if I could do that and what that looked like. I don't want to cover it up totally. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Sometimes there's a side to it too. Sometimes there's a side that's smoother and a side that's rougher. So let's start here because I only want it to cover this much. Okay. I've not done this before, so that's why I'm not sure if it's going to go up. It's definitely a bonus. But I happen to have some that were fully dried, so I thought, well, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Now, granted, you could take soap dough and cut it. You don't even have to use the stencil. And cut little pieces of grass and put on top of here. And if you wanted to use the stencil to put layers of stenciling on, because, you know, sometimes, you know, we're not creative all the time. Sometimes it's okay just to use this, like a little template. All right, let's see what happens. Ready? Magical. Okay, cool. Let me clean that up. See, I can, this is why these will stay in my house. I don't mind if there's like a little bit of lint in the shower because it will disappear. But I would not want that to leave my house. Okay. Not too terrible for an experiment, and that's why I decided to call it just a little bit of a bonus. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.